Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dex's Diners Deep Dive. It stuck the first time, so we're going to keep it, I think, for now. But today, expecting that Ahsoka Tano is going to come into the next episode of The Mandalorian, we have to do a timeline of Ahsoka Tano in the Star Wars universe. So, yes, I got a giant whiteboard just for this so we could go over everything. Because let's face it, Ahsoka's been all over and in a lot of stuff, and I think it's really hard to keep track. And I don't think everyone should have to go rewatch every single Star Wars piece of media with Ahsoka in it every time she shows up in something else, because that would just get exhausting. So, all right, so let's make a timeline. Let's make this as straight as possible. Okay. I'm going to get a new marker. Hold that thought, all right? Okay, we are back. I got two new pens, so hopefully one of them works. That one doesn't. Let's say this is Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace, okay? First Star Wars movie. And let's say this is Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, okay? Okay, that's a good timeline. It's crazy that it spans so long, but what's crazy is that Ahsoka is kind of around for all of that. So, okay, earliest introduction to Ahsoka. Here is episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and here is episode. Let's do right here for episode 3. And yes, for anyone that knows, this is not an accurate representation of how much time passes between the two movies. We're just doing it for Ahsoka, okay? So, in between here, we have Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Huge section of time. All right, Star Wars The Clone Wars. This is where Ahsoka is first introduced. In 2008, the Star Wars The Clone Wars movie came out, which introduced Ahsoka as a new Padawan learner who is going to have Anakin Skywalker as her master. All right, so this is the very first time we meet her, and she is a little kid. Now, I'm going to make a second timeline that represents the real world we live in, all right? And we're just going to put that right down here. Okay. This is 2005, and this 2020. All right? Simple enough. 2005. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith comes out. Boom. 2008, Clone Wars starts. Ahsoka Tano gets introduced. All right? 2008. Now, Star Wars The Clone Wars happens. And then we get to 2012. What happens there? Disney buys Lucasfilm. All right, so a couple things happen here. Now, the biggest thing that happens in 2012 when Disney bought Lucasfilm is the announcement that there are going to be new Star Wars movies. But that's something completely different. The biggest thing with Ahsoka that happened in 2012 is that Disney actually stopped the Clone Wars from airing on television and just stopped that crew, okay? Because Star Wars The Clone Wars aired on Cartoon Network, but Disney already had their own channel, Disney XD. So they pulled that crew, stopped that team. So Clone Wars just stopped abruptly, all right? Crews were in the middle of making shows, were in the middle of making episodes, but they couldn't finish them because of this abrupt stop. But Disney said, hold on, we don't want to lose that fan base of the animation, so why don't we just give you a budget to make a different series? So they gave that money to the team and to Dave Filoni, the creator of Clone Wars, and they created, let's see, here is Star Wars 4, A New Hope, right? Star Wars. And they made Star Wars Rebels. All right? So, Star Wars Rebels gets made. All right? In Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka Tano shows up. However, there's a huge gap in here that we never got to see because Disney bought Lucasfilm and just shut it all down, right? So we have no idea what happened in this gap with Ahsoka, but she came into Star Wars Rebels right here. So we found out she was doing stuff, and we're like, that's cool. A lot of stuff happened that is awesome, but I'm not going to spoil it for you in case you do want to watch Star Wars Rebels. The point is there are various things that happened. We didn't know if Ahsoka was alive or not in Star Wars Rebels. And then by the end of Star Wars Rebels, again, here is where there's a spoiler alert, all right? So if you do not want anything spoiled for you, stop watching the video right now, okay? By the end of Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka is alive, all right? Okay, now there is a small portion of Star Wars Rebels that actually takes place right here. And what we see in that time is one of the characters of Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka are teaming up to go on a mission, all right? So we get that. So Ahsoka is right there. So as of this point, we've seen her start in the Clone Wars. There's a big chunk of time. Star Wars Rebels, and in the end of Star Wars Rebels, we know that after Return of the Jedi, the 6th Star Wars movie, which is when Luke Skywalker, turns his father Darth Vader to the light side again, the Emperor gets thrown down the shaft, the Death Star 2 blows up, right? So after all of that, Ahsoka is alive and well. Then, not even there, in 2020, Disney announced that they had made time to finish the Clone Wars that was never finished. And in that time, we got Maul versus Ahsoka. That is a very simple way to explain the Siege of Mandalore, which was a series of Clone Wars episodes that was re-released, or I guess it was finished and then released for the first time, that had Ahsoka in it. All right? Basically, that's just backstory because that is the most recent stuff for the Ahsoka we've seen, but it still took place all the way back here. Now, here's the thing. That is where Mandalorian takes place. All right? That is Mandalorian. Mando. All right. So that's Mandalorian. And if everything goes according to what everyone's been saying, we are getting Ahsoka in the next episode of Mandalorian. So the reason this is so exciting to everybody is that although in 2020 they just released this new Ahsoka content, it happened right there, so we kind of knew nothing too serious could happen to Ahsoka because we had seen her later. But the truth is that's the latest we've seen Ahsoka. We have not seen anything after that. So everything they do is a fresh start with Ahsoka right now. I mean, albeit she is pretty darn old, but that's why it's so exciting. So there's that. Hopefully that makes sense. And ultimately, I will be releasing another episode tomorrow that is talking about the Mandalorian episode because it is heavily rumored, and I am pretty sure that she will be in the episode. And I will be breaking down that episode to kind of diagnose exactly what's going on, if they give any clues as to what's happened to her since we've last seen her, or just what's going on with her in general. So, if any of this confused you, if you have any other questions, or if you're watching and I missed something that just for whatever reason I didn't include, please comment below and let me know because I'm trying to make these informative and helpful to people that have not seen the show or don't remember or just trying to catch up. So, cool. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.